Good Monday. I'm Chris Fote. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Let's get started. Sharona?
Good morning. Today with us is David Delta. He's my buddy, and then he's also a torturer. He tortures people for a living. But today we are actually going to talk about an interesting project that he's doing. He has come up with a DVD, and then he is trying to start an online web presence so that you don't even have to go to his location. You can get his training and advice from anywhere in the world, right? And if the other worlds has video cameras, they can from the other worlds too, right?
What was that?
From like Mars or something, if they have video cameras, then they can use their computers, right?
Right,
so,
exactly.
David has like a long history, and he has established himself. Just briefly, tell us, Dave, how did you get to this fitness thing?
Okay. Well, I've got a long history with drug and alcohol abuse, and I spent a good portion of my early years destroying my life, and I came to a point where I knew I needed to make changes. Specifically, what happened was coming home from work one day, plopping down in my chair and cracking open a beer and watching TV, and my son, who was 2 or 3 at the time, came up to me and said, Dad, let's go outside and play. And I was telling him, I'm too tired. I've worked hard today. I need to relax. I've deserved this. This one day, after going through all of this and saying that to him, he looks me in the eye and he goes, Dad, you're always too tired. And that hit me. It was like a knife just stabbing me. And I decided I didn't want to be that kind of dad. I wanted to be the kind of dad who was a part of my kids' lives, part of my wife's life. And I knew I needed to make changes, so I started looking around, trying to find different things in order to help myself out. I started working out, started running, getting into fitness, and once I began getting a level of that, lost 30 pounds, my energy level shot through the roof, I felt better, I actually became a different person. I started becoming the father and the husband that I was designed to be. And I decided that other people needed to have that too. So I went and got my certification, and so I could step out and start helping other people accomplish the same thing that I did.
And you started a business called?
Called Infinite Fitness. We're on 2614 Maple Crest, right next door to Papa John's.
That's a good question.
Right, exactly.
Gain weight there, and then you lose weight here.
Exactly. We work, we bounce off each other like that. It's a good relationship.
Well, it sounds like you restarted your life.
Exactly. Exactly. I definitely did. Went from the depths, as far deep as I could go, as far as health is concerned, well, spiritually too, to new heights, and always trying to reach higher and go farther, and take as many people with me as I can.
That's great. So, how do you start your work week? If it's not on Monday, for example, how do you prepare? Because you sound like you've got pretty much everything regimented and routine, right? Well, it sounds like that.
Well,
maybe not.
But as far as
so how do you start your Mondays?
Well, Mondays for me it's really pretty easy, because I know each Monday starts a new week. It's a brand new opportunity for me to reach out to others. It's a brand new opportunity for me to come into someone's life and meet them where they're at and help them accomplish things that they didn't know that they could.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just knowing that I get to reach outside myself, touch somebody else's life. So for me,
that energizes.
That just energizes me, right? And it begins. It kicks everything off, and I hit the ground running on Monday morning. I'm just ready to go, ready to help people. So that's what I'm all about.
That's great.
So this question, I'm going to phrase it to you, because a lot of the business people, they work hard and they eat poorly, and I think you can give a little bit advice to these business
owners.
Don't
Get enough sleep.
So talk a little bit about like the fitness and eating right and that sort of stuff that are related to business owners.
Okay.
Give them some tips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Well, first the first thing is to start somewhere. Wherever you're at, just start somewhere. With exercise, you can just start doing something. Whether you get up out of bed in the morning before you take your shower, doing some jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, anything. Just start doing something. Because something is better than nothing. So starting there, and then you can always increase and go from there and build upon that. As far as nutrition goes, there a lot of different things. First thing you got to do is get away from the packaged stuff, the box stuff, the stuff that is put together for the processed foods. You got to get away from all of that and start eating, real foods, whole foods, the fresh meats, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. That doing that alone will help you tremendously. You want to eat several times throughout the day, every 2 to 4 hours, to keep your metabolism up, keep yourself burning fat, keep your energy levels up. That'll go a long way as well. But there's several things like that. But it's simple steps that you can take that'll help with all that. Getting the exercise in is going to help lower your stress, which is going to help it where you can sleep more. And sleep is very important. If you're not getting enough sleep, then everything else it just kind of starts falling apart because your body just can't handle it. It has to recuperate. So one of the hardest things it is to teach other people is that you have to recover. Everybody wants to push harder, push harder, push harder. Once they get going, they think the key is to keep pushing harder and further and further and further. But actually, you have to know when to pull back and rest and recover.
Yeah, even from a scripture point of view, that it says like on the seventh day you rest and then you start.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
So do you have a philosophy or an adage by which you live your life or run your business?
Yes.
Or both?
I do, actually. It's pretty simple. It's you are worth it. I determined a long time ago that if Jesus decided that I was worth him dying on the cross for, right? And everyone out there in the world, even if you don't believe in him, he decided you were worth dying for. And I believe if each one of us is worth that much to Jesus, right? Then he should be worth something to each one of us too, right? So I believe that everyone, each one of you, are worth the effort required to reach your goals, whatever they are. So everyone who walks through my door is worth it. And as a matter of fact, each one of them are required to tell me that before they begin their workout. Well, the last thing I do after I describe what the workout is and what we're going to do, I ask them why they're here today. And everyone has to tell me because I'm worth it. And
that's great.
Right.
So if you had to select a superpower, feats of strength,
superpower,
what would that be?
It'd be cool.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid with that laugh. Go ahead.
Be in a fight or something, and all of a sudden the scene stops and a kabam, kaboot. To be able to do that, interject.
Oh,
the
cartoon sounds of.
I don't know. That's a difficult one. I didn't watch a lot of those types of. I didn't watch much TV at all when I was growing up.
My favorite is time travel.
Time travel?
I don't know why. I just like to visit different periods of time. Who knows?
But I don't know. I get.
Maybe you don't want a superpower.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, the ability to reach inside someone and find their what it is that triggers not the motivation, because motivation is fleeting, but the inspiration. If I could magically just trigger the inspiration inside of a person that would help them make the choices that are necessary to change their lives. That would be the superpower I wish I could have.
You could use that on me and Sharona too.
Yeah.
And tell us something. You were already pretty much an open book in this interview, so I don't imagine there's many things that would surprise people to hear about you.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
He has a Steve Austin voice that he does for his son.
Steve.
Okay, you have to answer the last question, Steve.
Well, it's not really. I don't know if it was a Steve Austin voice, but one of the things that I do is I go and I talk to youths around the town. I go to different high schools, youth groups and things like that, and I tell my story with drugs and alcohol. Basically, I give my testimony. And what Sharona is referring to is in part of it, I talk about my son and getting him up out of bed in the morning and how a chore it is. And, and finally I get to that point to where, I've tried everything else where I just grab him around the shoulders and I lift him up and I stand him in front of me and I say, "Now, get ready for school." And then he chooses to obey.
Now he's terrified, as am I.
So anyway, Dave, how do people get hold of you to do business with you? Just give us the phone number and the web address and that sort of stuff.
Okay. I have a phone number, 260-602-6708. Also reach me at davidelder.net, where I will be doing a bunch of different interesting things online. We're looking to start an online workout program where you can reach there. We do some different training things where you can access me on there, and then different speaking things as well, motivational among other things. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/infinite fitness. You can find me on there.
Great.
So we would like to thank Dave for coming and joining us
Thank
today.
you, Sharon.
Thank
you, Chris.
Thank
We
you.
would like to thank the audience. We are recording at New Ground Coffee House. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Use it.